Similarly, Allah said, وَلَا يَأْبَ كَاتِبٌ أَنْ يَكْتُبَ كَمَا عَلَّمَهُ اللَّهُ فَلْيَكْتُبْ. Allah's statement, مِمَّنْ تَرْضَوْنَ مِنَ الشُّهَدَاءِ, requires competency in the witnesses. Further, Allah's statement, أَن تَضِلَّ إِحْدَاهُمَا, refers to the two women witnesses. Whenever one of them forgets a part of the testimony, فَتُذَكِّرَ إِحْدَاهُمَا الْأُخْرَى, meaning, the other woman's testimony mends the shortcoming of forgetfulness in the first woman. Allah's statement, وَلَا يَأْبَ الشُّهَدَاءُ إِذَا مَا دُعُوا, means when people are called to be witnesses, they should agree, as Qatada and Arabi bin Anas stated. Similarly, Allah said, وَلَا يَأْبَ كَاتِبٌ أَنْ يَكْتُبَ كَمَا عَلَّمَهُ اللَّهُ فَلْيَكْتُبْ. Some say that this ayah indicates that agreeing to become a witness is fard kifaya. However, the majority of the scholars say that the ayah وَلَا يَأْبَ الشُّهَدَاءُ إِذَا مَا دُعُوا is referring to testifying to what the witnesses actually witnessed, thus befitting their description of being witnesses. Therefore, when the witness is called to testify to what he witnessed, he is required to give testimony, unless this obligation was already fulfilled, in which case such testimony becomes fard kifaya. Mujahid and Abu Mijlaz said, if you are called to be a witness, then you have the choice to agree. If you witnessed and were called to testify, then come forward. It was reported that Ibn Abbas and Al-Hasan al-Basri said that the obligation includes both cases, agreeing to be a witness and testifying to what one witnessed. Allah's statement, وَلَا تَسْوِمُوا أَن تَكْتُبُوهُ صَغِيرًا أَوْ كَبِيرًا إِلَى أَجَلِهِ, whether it be small or large, for its fixed term, perfects this direction from Allah by commanding that the debt be written, whether the amount is large or small. Allah said, وَلَا تَسْمُوا, meaning, do not be discouraged against writing transactions and their terms, whether the amount involved is large or small. Allah's statement, ذَلِكُمْ أَقْسَطُ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ وَأَقْوَمُ لِلشَّهَدَةِ وَأَدْنَى أَلَّا تَرْتَابُوا means, writing transactions that will be fulfilled at a later date is more just with Allah, meaning better and more convenient in order to preserve the terms of the contract. Therefore, recording such agreements helps the witnesses, when they see their handwriting or signatures later on, and thus remember what they witnessed, for it is possible that the witnesses might forget what they witnessed. وَأَدْنَى أَلَا تَرْتَابُوا, meaning, this helps repel any doubt, since if you need to refer to the contract that you wrote, and the doubt will end. Allah's statement, إِلَّا أَن تَكُونَ تِجَارَةً حَاضِرَةً تُدِيرُونَهَا بَيْنَكُمْ فَلَيْسَ عَلَيْكُمْ جُنَاحٌ أَلَا تَكْتُبُوهَا, indicates that if the transaction will be fulfilled immediately, then there is no harm if it is not recorded. As for requiring witnesses to be present in trading transactions, Allah said, وَأَشْهِدُوا إِذَا تَبَايَعْتُمْ. However, this command was abrogated by فَإِنْ أَمِنَ بَعْضُكُمْ بَعْضًا فَلْيُؤَدِّي الَّذِي اؤْتُمِنَ أَمَانَتَهُ. Or, it could be that having witnesses in such cases is only recommended and not obligatory, as evident from the hadith that Khuzaymah bin Thabit al-Ansari narrated, which Imam Ahmad collected. Umar bin Khuzaymah al-Ansari said that his uncle, who was among the Prophet's companions, told him that the Prophet was making a deal for a horse with a Bedouin man. The Prophet asked the Bedouin to follow him so that he could pay him the price of the horse. The Prophet went ahead of the Bedouin. The Bedouin met several men who tried to buy his horse, not knowing if the Prophet was actually determined to buy it. Some people offered more money for the horse than the Prophet had. The Bedouin man said to the Prophet, "If you want to buy this horse, then buy it, or I will sell it to someone else." When he heard the Bedouin man's words, the Prophet stood up and said, "Have I not bought that horse from you?" The Bedouin said, "By Allah, I have not sold it to you." The Prophet said, "Rather, I did buy it from you." The people gathered around the Prophet and the Bedouin while they were disputing, and the Bedouin said, "Bring forth a witness who testifies that I sold you the horse." Meanwhile, the Muslims who came said to the Bedouin, "Woe to you! The Prophet only says the truth." When Khuzaymah bin Thabit came and heard the dispute between the Prophet and the Bedouin who was saying, "Bring forth a witness who testifies that I sold you the horse," Khuzaymah said, "I bear witness that you sold him the horse."